going back to their yesterday's drop spots here, going back into his Georgia pool once again here, but this time they may consider looting up a little bit quicker here and then just bailing the heck out here because they are on the outside of the zone here where we potentially may see the guys from Unique or C9 actually contesting them later on. But Beowulf, he's a bit far off from the rest of the members here. He's all by himself here, contesting manpower run, goes for the spray, and Beowulf doesn't seem to clip him off here, but the damage has been done. It seems to be Beowulf, he's gonna back out.
Yeah, Beowulf on Miramar had probably the best shot I've seen so far in this event. The one-tap headshot on the vehicle that was passing by and then finished off 2 more players inside the UAZ. This time, though, the AKM spray not quite as perfect as maybe we're expecting to see from him, but Manpeng, he can just survive for now, just wait for his team maybe to back him up here. But yeah, I mean, towards the northern hemisphere of the map, it's not going to be too much of an issue right now because of how balanced the circle is. All these teams can get a strong economy going into the later game as they're not forced into early rotations.
Yeah, we have Drax here, the friend favorites coming in towards this tournament here. Yudu Gang, they had a couple of really nice shots coming from Drax as well with his Car 98 shot in the map of Sandhawk. He did pull off a little bit here, but unfortunately to say here, the circle didn't exactly favor them a lot as well, considering that they have to push into the circle a lot. But today, in the first game of today as well, we saw Yudu Gang almost clutching the chicken dinner against Mega Conquer. However, Cloud9, this is interesting for me actually, Alex. Like Cloud9, usually they will just loot out fully decked out in Georgia Pole and then just comes in blazing here. This is an early aggression coming from them to contest Yudu Gang. That's actually quite surprising for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to see actually where they are. Currently just south of shooting range, but towards Georgia Pool, we have a few teams there as well. Unique, the team reigning from Europe, but we saw that yesterday where they go towards Georgia Pool, then eventually rotate towards Everest, and they use that as their stronghold into the latter stages of the game. Although, with how central the circle is, Terrence, it seems very unlikely that it will conclude there. We're going to have to see a different strategy from Unique.
Yeah, definitely here. 2 games of Varenga has passed, most of the circle ending towards the western side of the map here. Now, seems to me a pretty balanced approach here. Every single team might not struggle a little bit in the first field phase, but at the same time, I'm a little bit worried here for the guys from Cloud9, Yudu Gang, Illuminate the Murder, as well as Kurt Squad, just because they were contested rather early, and I don't think they have enough utilities or even firepower to actually take it to the next following few fights here. In this case, Top Esports is looking to potentially set up a couple of roadblocks later on in the stage of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Kurt Squad. When speaking to the players backstage, they said that a plethora of teams that came into their booth asking where they were going to drop on Erangel, and they said, get out, we're not telling you, we want to hot drop you, and we want to contest things early. As they came into this event extremely confident, and you can see kind of why, there's some accuracy there, Baby dropping down Penguin, and actually does get the finished off conversion kill as well. EGC currently struggling towards the lower echelons of the table already, and now losing against Kurt Squad. They may actually be in 16th, as I believe EGC were only 1 point ahead.
At the same time here, Yudu Gang, I'm a little bit worried for them just because they actually took the bait coming from Cloud9 here. We saw early on Beowulf going for the sprays onto his manpower, and because of that, they're actually checking a lot of corner here. So much time wasted from side Yudu Gang. I hope it doesn't affect their overall economy and also rotation timing here, because that mental game being played by Beowulf, set up by C9 here, kind of triggered them a bit, and I'm a bit worried here from side of Yudu Gang.
Sol, we've actually seen some good rotational play from them in this event so far. It seems like they just die early on, 14th, 15th, 16th so far today. Where is it you think they go wrong? Because right now they're in the center of the circle, they're in the center of school, they've got a strong compound, but it seems to always go wrong for them in the first 15 minutes.
Well, it all comes down to the next few phases of the circle here, but so, like you said as well, the center of the map as well, where there's a lot of terrain, a lot of long range they can do, but it's still the first phase of circle. There's still too much to do about, but at the same time, we see RRQ trying to catch up a couple of rotations here, coming from Team Kessel, who's actually trying to run past the south of Pochinki here, and RRQ is known to be the kings of Pochinki. Will they be able to defend this title if the circle actually ends in towards the vicinities of Pochinki?
Yeah, RRQ 9th on the leaderboard. As we mentioned just moments ago, the fact that we are now exactly halfway into the event, they need to start getting some chicken dinners or more kills as well, because kills are a major part of the statistics and the standings going into this event. I mean, we can see Bigatron currently leading the charge in terms of kills, and it's not an irony, the fact that they're first as well.
Yeah, same goes for Top Esports here. Like in the map of Miramar, despite them not getting the chicken dinner, they still got more kills. They secured more points, about 1 point higher than VTR. But because of those skill points there, they were able to push themselves into the top 2 spot in the overall ranking from the previous map of Miramar. So nicely done for them. But now the first phase of Circle is going to be completely closing in very shortly here. We see a lot of rotations coming in already. One of them going to be top esports. We have Hope and Years already taking the Runes pathway, hoping to scout out a couple teams. Same goes for EGC down in the south. Unicorn Gaming in the southeast, and also Mega Conqueror exiting the vicinities of Milta and also Milta Power.
So Terrence, we know that apartments and school is so good for the economy of a team like Seoul right now, able to loot this whole complex up, get to the highest level of economy in terms of weaponry, scopes, utility, etc. But how good is it in the late game as a compound? Because look how large it is, look how many ways you can be flanked, look at how many teams can actually crash you. Is it really that strong to have?
Well, in terms of looting-wise, it's great, but in terms of holding a compound, it's not the best possible position here, just because, like you said as well, there's so many angles actually push into the apartments, and at the same time, to exit the vicinity is not that great because there's no cover to actually rotate out from. And on top of that as well, there are going to be a lot of teams contesting vehicles in the early phase of stages here, just because of how centralized the map is for rotating to west or even to east side. So most of the vehicles around school or maybe even apartments are mostly contested early stage of the game. And I'm worried for Seoul because right now, they're still stuck there and they don't exactly have an exit strategy.
Yeah, the circle has now shifted again towards the west, centralized towards Pachinki. You said RRQ are the kings. Let's see if they can keep their crown.
Well, and we saw a little bit of player stats as well. And like you said, RRQ, will they be able to secure it? I like that. But speaking of which here, hold that thought for now because Team Kisso might be contested from the guys from Unique now.
Yeah, hold that thought and try and hold this compound as well as Unique spots the players from Queso up in the air. But they're going to be fine for now as they actually get out their vehicles. They may try and go for a contention here as Seoul maybe hearing the shots coming out from apartments and they may try and third-party this.
Yep, Team Queso, they have been looking for information time and time again here. They ran through RRQ, they ran through Unique now. They've heard a couple gunshots coming into this game, but I'm worried for them because in terms of the vehicle-wise, they don't exactly have a lot of health on those vehicles. If they lose their vehicles rather early in this stage of the game, maybe the next few circles, they're going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, and obviously I mentioned economy, utility, weaponry, but it seems like vehicles as well are a major part of that in terms of rotations. We're not even into phase 3 yet. And for you, Terrence, you always say phase 3, phase 4, that's where teams need to start getting settled. And if you haven't already found your rotations, that could be pivotal into the later game.
Yep, Yudu gang, they found one kill here on towards the guys of ARWs, looking to finish them off, but seems to be they are respecting it. No, apparently not. They won those loots here. We talked about how they wasted so much time in the early stage here, but at the same time, C9 is in the vicinity. Uneven might get shot off here. Yudu gang.
Uneven into the open here, but some poor driving skills there coming out from one of the players from Yudu gang. Maybe didn't pass his driving test, but they're going to be getting out. They're going to be onto the hot top of the hill terrain. Now they're going to be shooting over as well onto Uneven, but thankfully there is uneven ground here for Yudu Gang because it's actually going to be playing out in his favor. I believe he's going to get away scot-free. Ooh, Drax there landing a few shots as he does go inside the blue zone.
Oh, nice usage here coming from the DP as well. Trying to do a little bit of vehicle damage, but unfortunate to say, they needed those kills. We talked about how they were mentally cycled from the guys from C9. You can see they only have like level 1 helmets on most of the teams here. They need to get some kills to rack up some supplies. However, Entity and Unique gonna go head-to-head here in the 6 million houses outside of Runes.
Entity Gaming currently 5th. Yesterday they looked so consistent. And as well in the skirmishes before the tournament started, they said that they were feeling confident in their gun skill as well, but maybe not into the actual game itself as they realize Unique are in the compound. They're going to be playing the more passive approach, however, in this statement. Although, back when we were casting South Asia Regional Finals, Entity one of the most aggressive teams, so this is quite strange to see.
Yep, in yesterday's games all the way to today as well, we saw consistency coming from Entity to secure those placement points, but I like how the devs brought it up as well, that kills become a huge factor over time, and this is where top esports shine the most because from yesterday to today, they've been getting kills after kills after kills. Hopefully, we will see a kill here coming from Roche, going for the tap. Does he connect to Neo? Ooh, very close though.
Very close indeed. Unique. They actually have a compound as well that is inside the circle, so it may be crashed and contested by Entity. Although, with Gatcat being the center of the circle, Pachinki as well in there isn't really too many positions that you can actually get hold of. Where on the map would you say teams have an advantage in terms of getting locations?
Well, it all comes down to those mountain terrains or maybe even hotspots where Orange Esports may or may not be. But I'm worried here from the guys of RRQ because it seems to me a lot of teams are worried about what RRQ is going to be doing, especially from them exiting from Pachinki. We saw like at least a good solid 3 to 4 teams making barricades, setting up roadblocks to try and punish the previous world champions here. And Illuminate the Murder now from their perspectives here, they're finally abandoned Rozok and regathered themselves in towards the Water Town vicinities, and it seems to me they're looking for a sign before they make their first rotation in.
Speaking of rotations, more rejection gaming trying to make theirs, but it seems like Unique want to take it to the next level. It's going to be the roadkill as well. Oh, this is an absolute mockery against Matyo, as he's going to go 6 feet under. And in the meantime as well, Regaltos from Seoul is taken down.
Oh, good call there coming from Unique, spotting out he was all by himself. Why not chase him, pop his tires, kill him off? That was brutal indeed. However, looks like they want more here because Team Kessel, for the third time here, they encountered enemies, but this time they will lose Axel.
Old boy with the headshot from that range with the DP-28, and it did a lot more than 28 points of damage, as they may try and finish him off as well, as he is going to be in the wilderness. And we mentioned it time and time again, Old Boy was touted as potentially the most skilled player here at this event, and these are the sorts of situations that really show that off.
Exactly here. We saw a couple of long-range shots coming from Old Boy yesterday as well, where they engaged against the guys from C9 as well as Top Esports. However, now, and first rotation coming in, but Ernie from RRQ punishes them, saves them a little bit of window to work with, but Jonathan will get knocked out.
Yeah, Kurd squad as well, you can see in the fray, started to get into the action as they do drop out. They hear the bullets and the firefight going on before, just moments away. Mega as well, they've already had their chicken dinner today, so they're on form. Unicorn Gaming being quite quiet so far this event as they're starting to look down upon Mega.
Yep, seems to me Unicorn is no longer as aggressive as they say. However, Entity, they're still looking to pick out those little long-range shots here, but Aman will knock Kraken off here, and this time they are going for the push as they need those loots. However, Kraken's kills, he got stolen by Uber. ARW.
Oh dear, especially for a team like Kurd Squad as well, towards the bottom of the table. They need as many points as possible from kills, placements, or anything. Let's see then if Entity can try and give them some. As they do start to enter the compound, they know exactly where Kurd Squad are. Beowulf as well in the background of all of this has been headshotted and taken down and eventually converted as well by Yasha from Team Unique.
And as of now, the circle is going to be favoring them a little bit here, but they have to push in towards the next phase of the circle, but I don't think Entity should push this. Hixie is going to lob a nade over. Does it connect though? Entity, they're going to go for the wraparound, but it seems to me they take too much time here. Oh, Jonathan will respect this and back off. Good catch there on the eye for the nades coming from Kurd Squad.
C9 lost another player. They're now down to 2. Uneven was also taken to the grave. Jonathan, scratch that. It's going to be Top Esports, Unicorn Gaming, EGC as well. All trying to rotate into whatever compound they can find inside the circle, but they're all individually inside the vehicles. They don't have that second member to try and jump out and take some damage. But let's see then, as Beside is going to be Beside, it seems, as he does go down, as well as another player from EGC, but not before he can at least knock down one of the players from Top Esports. But they're called Top for a reason, currently second in the standings, and you can see why. Their gun skill, their team play, everything is phenomenal.
Fantastic defense here coming from Top Esports, but at the same time, I'm worried for them here because nades tossing in may actually punish them. And you can see Coco is going to try and make way here, open things up for the rest of the team to gather, to regroup and take this fight here. But Top Esports, they're in a kill box.
Yeah, literally a kill box. They're just chucking in grenades into this said box and hoping it explodes. Senior from RRQ taken down as well by Unique. They've been doing so well as they're going to be inside the compound as well towards the bottom left of our screens. It seems like they're about to wipe out RRQ, and I think they just did, Terrence. And
I'm standing right here, eyes peer with my mind clear. Never look rear, only up, never down. Off the ground till I'm found. Hear the sound, listen to me now. As the beat pounds, every ounce of my effort pouring out. So you never have a doubt, do you like me now? Am I good enough now? Should I get more loud till you hear the fucking sound? Oh no, I'm losing my shit again, having to fit again. Man, I'm forgetting when I used to have some friends. I used to play pretend, we all grow up and then hating my phone and trends. I'm about to blow my head, nobody knows I'm dead. Fear I'm a ghost instead, think that I'm close. I get straight comatose in bed, try to go slow with breath, without my nose and head. Heart doesn't go the trend, faster it goes instead. One shot, that's all you got. Take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Could drop dead now of a fucking blood clot, yeah. One shot, give it all you got, and never back down, no, I'm never gonna stop, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Write your own story.
using the smoke to the best of their advantage. The Molotov as well, trying to deny the choke points to hold these windows, but this is such a tricky affair here as Mega have them pinned.
But at the same time here, you can see Unique, they're trying to buy time for another team to help them out, but it seems to me it's not working out because Mega, they're safe and sound, they secure the position here as well. They're afraid to push because they are afraid to get punished, but Stone is going to see one here going.
Well, actually does take that one in favor of himself, but Rogue is here trying his hardest to back up his team. As it's just going to be a 1 versus 3 here inside the compound, but two of the players are down from Mega. Oh, Pond and Rodfield, they should be able to 2 versus 1 Roki, but he's trying to get the heal off as much as possible, trying to buy up to as much time as he can. But that's kill points here for Unique. That's what they need as more damage is being done here. Onto 5 kills, that's 5 extra points, but that's going to be him done. The grenade is perfect. Unique around 15th. But at least there was a few kill points there from Rogue. He did his best.
Oh, they lost online 24. They tried to go for the save, but the grenade catching a glimpse of Rogue, taking him down. That's going to be pretty unfortunate. However, Yudu gang, they lose Geek. They are putting Gurn Squad in a tight spot. They're pretty much stuck at the corner here. Manpower going for the suppress here. Ari will reply as well. Drax planning go for the flag here. Ari, will he get it? It seems to be they will take them all out.
That should be it. Kurd Squad out in 14th. They're going to be staying there towards the bottom of the table. It's been a poor performance for them so far in this tournament.
But Yudu gang, with that, will secure themselves 6 kills in total, Alex. But this fight is still not over as well. Unicorn versus Top Esports, they're still stuck in that kill box. How will this go down for the Chinese teams here?
I think the best question is, Terrence, how should they get out of this?
This is going to be tough here because they've lost 2 members in the process. They tried to go out of this and they don't exactly have vehicles to work with. They have a yellow Dacia, but it's pretty much out and open where Satan is going to be marking that angle for quite some time. Same goes for Queso, but this time they are going to be barricading on the other edge of the ditch here. They've made themselves a small mini bunker, but it's not easy to attack this segment compared to where Top Esports is.
So they've got Unicorn there towards their right. They have another team as well just behind them. I believe that is C9. Yes, indeed it is. Cloud9, 2 players still remaining from them. Illuminate do lose Martin. All Rejection Gaming lose Crazy Gory as well, as we're starting to see the kills start to really flush out.
Well, while this was happening here, so much gunshots happening by, we saw BTR rotating past all these gunshots, setting up for the next team fight here, where they're going to be setting up a shot in front of the circle here, hoping to gatekeep some of the teams, and this seems to be Unicorn.
This is like a Venus flytrap. They weren't expecting there to be a team inside this divot, and look at this coming out right now from Team Queso, as they are turning them into cheese. Literally, just like that, melted away in 12th is Top Esports.
Mamma mia, ratatouille cooked cheese indeed, because Unicorn become a unicorn stew. I have no idea what reference is that, but yeah.
We're all cheesy jokes here, but what can you say? It's all dad jokes. Nevertheless, though, EGC Satan trying his hardest to stay alive in this situation. He's up against Mortal. He may just go for the high ground here. He's inside the zone, comes away, trying to bait out the shot from Satan. Ooh, he does spot where he is, but look at this. They're all taking hemorrhaging damage from the zone, and actually Mortal just may wait this one out. He does indeed. Down goes Satan from EGC, and that's going to be them eliminated, but Mortal! He's made the mistake there. He's gone for the full first aid, and because of that, down he goes.
What a bait they're coming for Satan, just taking out a competition alongside with him, just to deny him those kill points as well as the placement points. But because of that, Soul will be heavily punished here, because as of now, you can see Clutch God is going to get beaten out from the zone as well. But C9 Perha reproning in towards the potato field here. Mike, scout out the guys from Team Queso. Will they be able to punish them here? Queso has been in that ditch for quite some time. They scout out all these rotations here, but let's take a look at the circle as of now. It seems to me it's going to be favoring BTR.
Gosh, they've been so strong so far this event, winning the last chicken dinner, and it seems like fate that they may take 2 in a row. Mega currently under so much fire as well from Yudu Gang, who have done so well in terms of kills, currently at 6. Ooh, Soul out in 9th.
Yep, going to be unfortunate here. They were taking too long in the blue zone. We're down to the last 17, 21 live in the open fields of Gadka. Vehicles are super important. Same goes for the Snake game, but I like what iShot is doing here as well. You saw the orange dust here hiding behind the bushes here. Do not want to be taken out by all these teams. Same goes for Queso as well. They have a mini UAZ to work with if they want to exit this death trap.
For me, this is going to be a major game for the standings overall, because if Mega do go out in a situation where they're out 6th or 5th, and we have another win here, which seems quite likely with the situation of the zone for Bigatron, they may be poised into day 3 with a near victory. But look at this from Luxy. We heard how good his sniping prowess was, but instead it's going to be the precision from the M4. Pons as well, trying to divot and dart around the shots. And if you can dodge bullets, you can also dodge death, it seems, but not for long. As Geek spots him out, trying to shoot as well through the hay to send him to his grave, as Orange Esports have now found Bigatron.
Oh, seems to be Orange Esports is also in a tough spot here. BTR, they have so much cover to work with, but they have to focus on this fight here because BTR, they know they're going to get flanked here if they do not finish off Orange Esports. But it seems to be Orange Esports, they're thinking about disengaging, but Micro Boy shoots through the smoke, catches on Leon. Oh, the nades almost clipped him off as well.
See who's alive right now to the left of our screens. Udu Gang, 4 alive, 7 kills. Team Queso, 5 kills, 4 alive. Bigatron, 4 alive as well, but only 1 kill. But in terms of points, they're already so far ahead. This grenade as well is going far. It looks like it's nearly perfect. Not quite. Oh, it is! Shots goes down, but not from the shots of a weapon. It's the grenade that's perfect. C9 out in 6th as well. They're currently quite average in the score as well, in the leaderboards, excuse me, at 7th. They need high performances if they want to try and get top 3. Oh, Bigatron under so much fire. Now the shrapnel as well from the grenade is going to be downing 2 of the players here. Orange Esports trying to get back into this one.
Good push here coming from Orange Esports. They know they need to finish off guys from BTR. BTR, they were in a tough spot, and Orange will be the victors. Nice nades coming from Leon. But Team Queso, they're still having the circle. They still have the card. You can see the UAZ being parked up to set up for an exit strategy. But now we're down to the last 5 teams. Horizon going to be picked off from Luxy as well with the Gilisu, which is super hard to spot for all these teams, especially in long-range fights. But Geek will try to suppress the guys from Orange as well.
Especially in the fields of Gatkar as well. It couldn't really be any more perfect. Ooh, Geek as well with the perfect spray. Pov is down. Zuxi as well is down from Bigatron. As Team Queso, they've already wiped out 1 team. They're trying to make it 2. In this sense as well, almost looking like they can try and third-party these teams that are currently inside the zone, as we are getting restricted in 40 seconds.
Well, 4 teams left, Queso. They're finally coming out of exits here. You can see Buggy going to be setting up as well to zone the rest of the teams here. They're going to go push through the guys from BTR. Here comes a nades lob from Axel as well. They have 2 vehicles to work with, but Udu Gang, they're still in the game as well. You can see the crowd cheering for the local home crowd.
9 kills for them. Let's see if they can make it double digits here. And it seems likely, although Geek is down and eventually converted as well. Stalker gets that frag onto him. Now we see Udu Gang actually lose a play. The only teams right now with 4 are going to be Orange Esports and Team Queso. Look Boy as well, still alive here by the hay barrows and the tractor. Trying his hardest to keep that one as his only line of cover. But they're going to be surrounded here. To the right, they've got Team Queso. To the left, they've got Orange Esports. Oh my goodness, 4 teams remain. The problem is the zone as well. Where's it going to favor?
But it seems to me the zone is going to be favoring the boys from BTR. Okay, so they have to push in, but they have to take this slow because as of now, Udu Gang, BTR, and Orange, they're going to be going head-to-head as of now.
Oh, speaking of head-to-head, they're going to be touching tips here by the tractor. McBoy trying his hardest to survive. He gets 1. Eventually, they're going to be down. The shots coming underneath the wheels there. The tractor will mean it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Bigatron trying the hardest to survive. McBoy is still alive though, onto low HP. Actually down Leon as well. Drax gets run over. Leon gets run over. What the hell is going on here?
Ayala running 2 people over from the side of Udu Gang, but because of that, he opened things off for the guys from BTR. But now here comes the rest of Team Queso. Here, Axel finish. Oh, they finish off Udu Gang. Oh no, Axel, what a play from Team Queso.
What the hell is going on? It's a roadkill. It's a bloodbath here in the final zone. Let's see then though. Orange Stalker trying his best to try and get the win here for Orange Esports. They need this as they were towards the bottom of the leaderboard, and they're fighting for their tournament life here because we are halfway into this event. And this is where the teams that need to win are starting to set things up though, but they are versus Bigatron, currently number 1, and they're number 1 for a reason. They're in the lead in terms of placement points, but also kill points.
Well, as of now, BTR, they still have the compound to work with here. Like you said, Luxy does have the Gilisu, but Stalker, he's trying to secure even more kill points, but he's pulling his way through here. The circle going to be biting him from behind Horizon. Look at this. He's going to play this around the corners of the haystack here to try and stock this up here, but Mystic will get finished off from the side of Luxy.
Ooh, Stalker as well. The shots are connecting from the M4. The Saw, excuse me, as Luxy takes him down. This could be back-to-back 2 in a row chicken dinners here for Bigatron. They just have to work out with the remaining players from Team Queso on.
At the same time, Luxy getting spotted out as well. Team Queso, they know he has a Gillis, so they have to be careful. But one good nade here is going to turn south for the guys of BTR. But M249 from Luxy, he's going to be spraying and praying all the way through. But Team Queso, they do not have any more vehicles. This is the time to shine here. Luxy 6 times go on the M249, but gets punished as well from Axel.
The saw, almost the best weapon to have here, 100 bullets that they can just spray out into the grass. But they haven't been able to connect the shots, but they do just immediately. And now it's a 1 versus 2. Yala has so much to do. It's Luxy finishing off. Excel as well. All down to the 1 versus 2. The pressure is so high right now from the team from South America. Let's see though, can he make this happen? They know exactly where he is. He's given away his location. Luxy going to be lurking as well in the shadows, using the ghillie suit to his advantage as he's trying to go towards the right side.
Good spot there coming from Luxy, spotting the secondary weapon coming from Team Queso. But like you said as well, 2v1 Ayala gonna get sprayed as well. Luxy gonna be starting his onslaught on his wave track. Does he connect? Oh, he gets one shot. He does it!
Back-to-back chicken dinners from Bigatron, and you can hear the crowd as well. The team, excuse me, from Southeast Asia make it happen, and they're going to be extending that lead from 1 to 1.5, it seems, in terms of how far away the other teams are on the leaderboard.
My, oh my, Alex. That was a crazy match to watch in the map, Erangel. BTR, they got pincered so hard, but still came up on top there. What was going through their minds? But Luxy, with the 6x scope, swaps with the M249, swapping the red dot, swapping the 6x scope, going for the spray just to punish Team Queso. But as soon as he spot that secondary weapon that was sticking out on the grass, bam, instantly gets taken down. What a man. What, in this case, what a boy.
Trying to think as well, back to the results, which ones are going to be really important. I think one of them to mention is RRQ going out very, very early, meaning that as they are in the middle of the table, we're halfway into the event, they need to get those chicken dinners coming soon. Top Esports as well, going out fairly early, which is another reason why this is so important for the win for Bigatron, just to extend that lead to who was behind them.
Yep, at the same time as well, Top Esports, they were in this kill box where they were so close to another compound where a lot of teams can actually mess them up. In this case, EGC and also, I believe it was Unicorn Gaming was the one that gave them a lot of trouble, whereas the guys from Team Queso on the other edge had a little bit of safety net just because there's just not any kind of compounds which they can flank them from, which gave them that slight advantage when the circle came in. But this fight from Mega Conqueror, Unique, as well as RRQ was also a turning point for the Northeast section here, where it just gave Mega Conqueror just a lot of kills coming out from that.
Yeah, I think it's good as well to mention Unique, because it seems like they got quite unlucky with their rotations. The point where they were at Georgia Pool, they go towards Everest, they think the circle's going to be more central, so they leave Gatka. They actually left where the zone did conclude, and they went inside the center, then had to go all the way back and got caught between two teams.
Yeah, and at the same time as well, this is the final fight we were talking about as well, where BTR, they were pincered for guys from Orange Esports, Queso, but Ayala, the one that opened things off for BTR just because they flanked the guys from Yudu Gang.
This was insane. Oh, almost as if they deserved the win, just for how crazy that play was. Probably the best we've seen so far in this whole event. But let's see what Jason has to say on the desk.
Well, unfortunately for Yudu, that chicken dinner got turned into roadkill by Team K, so they're running them over one by one to close them out. But again, Luxy, my man, what is with this guy? He is just, his back has to hurt so much because he's been carrying his team all tournament long.
I don't know, the chemistry that they have right there, especially on the final play, Luxy just waiting to reload at the right time. I don't remember which player from Team Queso it was that he took out, but he waited until he had to reload. Then as soon as the other guy stopped firing from Team Queso, he popped out and then was able to shoot him and get the kill. Now, another thing I want to go ahead and mention about BTR, they stayed by those hay bales throughout most of the end of that game. And they were able to go ahead and just fence off a bunch of teams. Great win. And I mean, I believe that now is 3 chicken dinners for BTR. Yep. That's crazy.
$15,000 alone in chicken dinners with that. It's $5,000 each chicken dinner. So they are racking up the USD in the house. But like you said, you made mention of that fight with Bigatron at the hay bales. They were having an epic grenade battle with Orange Esports. Got a shout out to Orange Esports though. I mean, slowly but surely able to climb their way up the leaderboards. Every single game, we continue to see them in the top 5, improving. That's what I like to see.
I just want to say one thing, going back to the chicken dinners and the 15 grand.
What about it?
4th place gets 23 grand. Whoa. They're almost up to 4th place just on chicken dinners alone. And if they keep feasting like this, they're going to continue to build that lead again. What was it? Top Esports is closing up against them, but now they separate that lead even further. It was, what, 35 points, I think you said, Mustache Day before?
Yeah.
It's going to be around the 50 mark now.
Let me point out as well, though, Team Queso. I mean, they made a big brain play when Yala sent it over the road with the runovers to be able to open up the southern edge where we had Yudu Gank kind of just snaking it in the grass. Not to mention, Udo Genk having a phenomenal game as well. They had 4 alive. They were just crawling in the grass or the wheat field to be exact. And they were just continue to third party and get kills. I mean, we see right here, 10 kills. This is their best game yet when it comes to fragging out.
It is. And I mean, they have now had 2 good performances today. Hopefully they can go ahead and keep it up. I know they hear the crowd going crazy every single time they get a kill or they do good. But as you were mentioning, Team Queso, they are now starting to pick it up. The second half of the day, kind of like what we saw yesterday, starting to pick it up. But if they want to even challenge for the championship, they need to make sure they stay hot, they stay consistent. And it's not good that they weren't able to win that engagement with Bigatron, because it could come down to that. I mean, and them just not being able to win that one, it would be interesting to see what happens towards the end.
If you're Team Queso, though, I mean, just keep hoping that Unicorns crashes into you with 3 members in 1 vehicle, so you get an easy 3 points with the vehicle explosion. And then Chocho, yes, trying to reclaim or salvage whatever they can over there in that situation for the Unicorn Gaming, but questionable plays. I mean, all throughout the day, I keep saying it, Unicorn Gaming is one of the teams that I believe could disrupt this lobby, but they're just not showing up.
And the flag I was waving for, Top Esports, they're currently in 14th place for that last match. It seems like they were not able to go ahead and carry that momentum that they had from earlier, which is, it's huge, right? I guess maybe having the little break in between that nice concert by Henry, it just stopped the momentum from there. Are they going to be able to go ahead and bring it back?
Maybe Henry was giving a shout out to BTR, like, it's you're going to win. But let's actually take a look now, gentlemen, at the overall standings. After 8 matches have been played, I'm curious, how big is that lead for Bigatron? And it's got to be, oh my lord, 58 points.
That is looking nice. If they go ahead and continue that kind of performance, the good thing about that win is that they took advantage when Top Esports did not have a good game. So that is great to go ahead and see from them. And I love seeing that now. Look at this, Cloud9 moving up a little bit too. Entity Gaming, I want to see a little bit more consistency from them, especially if they want to challenge. I think at this point with the lead that Bigatron is starting to make, it's a lot of teams need to go ahead and step it up. If they don't, by the end of maybe next match, they're just going to know that whatever they do, they're just not going to be able to reach them.
Yeah, we see Mega here as well. The past 2 games, they've been having some challenges when it comes to team fights. Yes, they chose to push on to Unique, who was defending those yellows over there. But, you know, they had the advantage, in my opinion, when it comes to gatekeeping Unique. They didn't necessarily need to be ultra aggressive there, but they did. They lost some members in the process. Yes, you get 3 points, but at what cost? They need to take this into consideration moving forward, in my opinion.
And 7, another team I'm looking at here. They had a good game prior, but then they tanked out in 16th place. RRQ Athena just can't seem to get any consistency going.
No consistency, no momentum. I'm not really sure what's going on with that team, but this is not the performance we expected out of them. I actually think that them might have been one of the favorite ones to come in besides Bigatron. And it's quite shocking to see them currently in 10th place. But I mean, we saw Top Esports being able to get a win, a 2nd place, also back it up with kills, and now they're in contention. Can RRQ go ahead and do that before it's too late, before Bigatron just makes such a huge lead that they're not, whatever they do, they just can't reach them?
Last thing I do want to say, though, about the leaderboards was Seoul. 32 placement points done for them. The unfortunate part is, well, out of 8 matches, 20 of those came from 1 game alone. So they are struggling here. But you know who's not struggling? Luxy and Zuxi, 22 and 20 kills apiece. They are steamrolling this game.
That M249 at the end, just able to come in so clutch for Luxy. I mean, just spraying and praying that wheat field, taking down those members, those snakes in the grass, mowing it, doing a great job.
He's so accurate, too, which is the crazy thing about it.
And the telekinesis is strong with this one. I mean, we got Luxy and Zuxi, 22 and 20 kills. I mean, these twins are putting up the damage numbers here.
They have more kills than I think, like, what, at least 12 teams, maybe?
They got more kills than Kurd Squad. They got more kills than RRQ. They got more kills than a lot of these teams at the bottom of the leaderboard for sure.
It's crazy to see, honestly. They are just destroying. And I hope they go ahead and continue that kind of destruction, because if they do, they're going to end up being champions.
Oh, yeah.
And if they're champions, that is quite an achievement at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, if you're BTR, I don't know the exact gap that they have right now between 1st and 2nd, But regardless, every single game, they're not getting taken down early within the 13th below or the 11th below where you only get 1 point. So they're not letting up on it. Right now, they put on the gas. They're going to end today with such a large point gap that tomorrow, all they have to do is relax and chill and not throw any games. They should be our champs. I mean, I don't want to say it, but they're doing so good right now.
You might have just jinxed them. But no, even when they do lose players early on, like remember, there was a game just prior where Cloud9 picked up 2 players off the bat. They still won.
Yeah.
They still won with 2 players down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the first game yesterday, right? Luxy being able to go in and clutch it and get that win in Sandhawk. We know that one player alone can clutch a win for that team. So are we going to go ahead and start seeing some of the teams that are in contention, depending on how everything goes for the next 2 matches? Are we going to start seeing some of those teams that want to go ahead and contend for that championship, maybe hot drop them? I don't know.
That could be easy points for Bigatron as well.
It is, and the way they're playing right now is just insane.
Well, you know what? Luckily for us, we don't have to wonder what's going through their heads. We're actually having an interview on the stage with Luxy to hear what he had to say, of course, about that last game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a big thank you to our commentators and casters for telling you the story of the game. I'm here with your winner chicken dinner. Give it up for Luxy from Bigatron. Come on. My man, 3 chicken dinners, 2 back-to-back. We're talking about Miramar and Erangel. How are you feeling right now?
A little bit happy, but still hungry for chicken dinner.
A little bit happy, but still hungry for chicken dinner. Give him one more round of applause. He deserves it. Let's talk about that game a little bit, okay? Orange was fragging you guys, and you know, they almost destroyed you guys, but you guys managed to revive back, fight them while Team Geisel was watching, and we thought you guys couldn't make it. But at the end, you also managed to take them down and get the chicken dinner for yourself. Just talk to me about that ending there. What was the process like for your team?
We prefer the enemy, we holding enemy on behind us rather than enemy in front or looking for us. Yeah, that's how we work.
Focusing on the surrounding in general. Last question. Next map is going to be Vikendi. Yesterday you actually managed to win in another map as well, Sandhawk. Do you think you can take down Vikendi for one more chicken dinner?
Yeah, that's our map, Vikendi.
That's what I'm talking about. Give it up for Luxy one more time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, for everybody watching right now, we've got a recap video that we want to show to you guys. So let's take a look. And after that, we're going to come back for another game. See you soon.
Hi there, welcome back. Hello Malaysia, hello everyone at home. I hope you're ready for a bit of a recap of the game there. It was an interesting one overall, obviously BTR coming out at the end, but let's take a quick look at the map here. I found this extremely interesting because Pachinki's just hugely populated at the beginning of the map, and it feels like a lot of these teams are starting to realize the center is kind of free. Let's all go for it very, very quickly.
منيا 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 ماذا؟ الله يخليك اسمعي شكلك لا
اطلع انا ولا انت معك؟ يلا هاي
Team match, let's go.
First point for the red team.
Reloading. Enemy down. Cover me. Expired. Reloading. Dead. Nice shot. Target down. Dead. Target down. Enemy down.
The red team is in the lead.
No mercy. Kill. Nice shot. Dead. No mercy. Cover me.
The blue team is unstoppable.
Reloading. Nice shot.
அலசாத என் சட்ட கிழிஞ்சு வெளிய பறக்காத
match is over, and the red team is in the lead.
Nice shot! No mercy! Expired!
everyone, to the PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split Global Finals. First of all, as we get into our next match here, match number 9, I gotta give a shout out to a special man here on the side of the screen. You can't see. He can't hear me, so maybe I won't give him the shout out. Derek G. Not you. No, Derek G, because he's a good player. Yeah, shout out for his loss earlier on today.
Depends who you ask, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he could beat you in a one-on-one.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I never said I could beat him.
I mean,
I bet he could grow a better mustache too.
He hasn't played in about like 3 months, but I think he could beat you.
So, talking about the game, Bigatron, we saw him upstairs, they were chilling. I told them about their lead. They have a 58-point lead. You know what they told me?
We're gonna get that win in Vikendi.
They didn't say that.
They told you,
but maybe.
We follow you on Instagram.
Luxy does, and Luxy likes my post, by the way. But they said that the 58-point lead is not big enough for them. That at the end of the day, they want to have an even bigger lead, because this is how I'm looking at it, guys. Yesterday was Monday. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Friday. So if you can get when it comes to the 3 days of games, if you can get over the hump day with a good lead coming into Friday, it's gonna be all about the party.
Okay, we might have to show them a calendar after this, but they
I've even drank enough water.
That's my analogy, because there's 3 days. Today's like the Wednesday
well, there's 7
of
days
the
in
tournament.
Anyways, Vikendi's coming up.
That's my analogy.
It's gonna be good. Are they gonna be able to win at Vikendi? We saw them win. We saw them win a couple times in prelims. Can they do it? What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can.
Thank you, Jason. I think I was gonna say no, because they did not do it earlier on, but I think with the momentum they now have, 2 chicken dinners back to back, with Luxy performing like he is, I think they could do it.
Can they get that back to back to back?
Yes.
Yes? Me too.
I'll put my money on it.
How much are you gonna put on it?
I was gonna say that, but I said no.
Wait, how much?
Like 20 ringgits. That's
All
like
right.
1 USD.
That's easy.
It's not. It's
something
like
like that. Okay, 20 ringgits. I got you.
Well, I did see you have your calculator out to find 98 minus 95 to find the difference. And it was 3. Hey.
That's Team Queso on top. So
there you go.
I think at the end of the day, Top Esports could overtake Queso. I mean, they've also been a squad that has just been on the ball today, doing a great job. So we'll see.
Thing is, though, this is not the prelims, right? Where it's like a battle for second place or battle for third place. It's a battle for first place. You want to take home the title, especially for Top Esports to do it back to back. Now, going into Vikendi, we already heard our thoughts on Bigatron. Do you think they're going to do it again?
Yes, I think they're going to do it again. And I'm actually looking forward to one of the teams that are at the bottom to surprise us a little bit. Because if they're even going to try to be in contention, now is the time to do it. If they don't do it now, then tomorrow they're just going to be trying to play just to continue their name in a way. Yeah. If not, they're just going to be at dead last, and you don't want to be there.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be done here on the desk for now. We'll be back after the match. In the meantime, we're going to head over to our lovely commentators, Alex Fifield and Icy Baby 1-2, to take you through the chilly map of Vikendi.
Thank you once again, Jason. We're back. Match 9 in the Global Finals, Day 2. I'm joined by Terrence. As always, here we go into Vikendi, notoriously the best map for Bigatron. Are you agreeing with the desk kick? Can it be 3 in a row?
Oh, it might happen here. You know, I'm looking forward to see it here, but Vikendi has always been an oddball, so I'm not surprised to see BTR pull the win. But it feels like, you know, yesterday, Team Seoul, you know, I kind of want to see Seoul coming back into this game as well. Like Seven did mention, someone from the bottom coming up. I feel like Team Seoul taking chicken dinner yesterday, I think this might be the game for them.
Yeah, obviously they did it yesterday. As one of the desks they mentioned, this is the point where these teams towards the lower echelons of the leaderboard have to get and secure those wins, or at least get top 3 finishing with an abundance of kills. And maybe this is the one for Seoul. I mean, we're looking at EGC as well, RRQ, Orange Esports with a strong last game. Maybe this is the beginning of the momentum. The same thing we saw in the prelims where they showed up at the end.
Exactly. Orange Esports jumping from top 8 all the way into the top 3, making their way into the global finals. That is literally the Cinderella story, because if you talk about it here, you think about it from Southeast Asia League, they were on the bottom, going to top 16, then into the grand finals, from the bottom into the top 4, then making it to the prelims, from the bottom all the way to the top 3, and now here in the global finals. I wouldn't be surprised to see them though.
It was amazing as well, only 1 point ahead of Tempo Storm, so they're going to be kicking themselves, but that also goes us to show that kill points pay dividends later on into the event as well.
Definitely here, but as of now,
goodness, Terrence.
Wow, the circle going to be pushing everyone toward the southern section here, where we're going to see a lot of compounds in this phase of the circle, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of gatekeeps, especially on the compound facilities. But as of now, the local hometown crowd team here. Yudu Gang roaring their way through, already smack middle of the circle. So fortunately for them, they're going to be A-OK, sitting very comfortably here. However, like you said, the previous Kings of Vikendi, BTR, prioritizing those vehicles here for their rotation. So where are they going to be heading off to?
Yeah, it's interesting as well. You mentioned that vehicles are a commodity in and of themselves. You've got utility, weaponry, healing, medkits, etc. But on a map like Vikendi, where you have to make those rotations into compounds, vehicles are paramount.
Yep, definitely. But speaking of which here, Team Seoul, they were the victors here. The circle ended into the vicinities of Villa. But unfortunately to say, this time they have to rotate away from Villa. So in this case, I'm not too sure if they're going to be holding this compound for quite some time. It seems to be they're making movements here to actually bail out of Villa, maybe potentially find a couple of vehicles to fight on here. We see a couple of Uzis here from Rod here, from EGC, as they are actually trying to pressure the guys from Team Seoul, but unfortunately to say, Team Seoul has already left the building.
Yeah, speaking of leaving buildings, we're going to be seeing teams such as Team Queso, Entity, Illuminate the Murder as well, towards the northern hemisphere of the map, towards Cosmodrome. Having to rotate early, this means they don't have that time to loot up.
Yeah, at the same time, we saw Ayala as well, who was just a beast in that previous map here, running over two guys from side Yudu Gang. And also, I think Ayala did a couple insane plays from side Team Queso as well, where they like 1v3, 1v2 situation with a couple of really interesting spray downs. So Queso is something that I do not touch a lot about in most of my cast as well as my desk here, because I don't know them too much, but they have proved me time and time again here why they're in the top spot, because every single game, every single play that they make, there's always a reason behind their movements here, and I'm liking the plays here slowly but surely, looking forward to see if they can contest the Southeast Asia teams.
Yeah, speaking of contesting those Southeast Asia teams, one of them which I was expecting to do better was Cloud9.
Oh yeah, North America for today, right? C9, they did tremendously well. They opened things off in today's day 2 with 17 kills in total in first game. And I think Uneven was the one that was the player of the match in that game here. He did so much work from the containers areas here. However, Top Esports, he's going to be testing out his Uzi a little bit here. I'm not too sure what's going on.
Making sure it works, just double checking that everything's working according to plan. But yeah, I mean, right now for Top Esports, they're not in a situation where they have to move. They're just south of Abbey. They're inside the center of the circle. And we spoke about teams that we don't touch upon too much. One of them is going to be All Rejection Gaming.
Yep, All Rejection Gaming, Visteria, they had a rough time throughout all games in total. Even the map Miramar, they had a really smart game sense by actually rotating through the outskirts of the crater. But at the same time, it just didn't work out for them, because they are always getting caught off single-handedly in a way where they lose like one member all by themselves, which is pretty weird for me, because we've seen how they were able to consistently group up as 4, but it's really rare for me to see them actually getting picked off one by one, or maybe a couple of stragglers in this regards here. However, let's talk about the kill leaderboard here. Hong was top 1 today, before at one game, and now he's falling off a little bit here. Like Unicorn Gaming came in strong yesterday's game.
Yes, the consistency almost that they're looking for. And right now, as we touch upon Unicorn Gaming, they are currently in a 2-2 split towards Winery, hoping to try and get that best possible economy going forward into the latter stages of the game. However, Terrence, obviously they're in the center of the circle and they are going for a 2-2 split. Should they be worried about teams coming to crush them early?
Well, it may actually happen like this year, but it feels like All Rejection Gaming here, they're trying to loot up a little bit of spots here, possibly find a couple of vehicles to work with. You can see Madio, he has a jet ski, but unfortunately to say, I think he needs better than just a jet ski here. Same goes for Manparang. He's going to be looking around. I think, it's eye shots also alongside with Manparang with the jet ski, trying to build up those vehicles. Department here seems to be they find themselves a motorcycle for the mobility department. So this is going to be great for Yudu Gang, but however, we've talked about Vikendi, the economies and loots as well is quite diversified, considering that the circle is all the way to the south side. So hoping for high tier loots is not exactly easy.
Yeah, Drax, one of the hometown heroes. And actually, surprising enough for me, coming into this event when we spoke to the players, even the talent as well, it was like, Yudu Gang, they're not a gimmick, but they're not expected to do that well. They're here to represent Malaysia, but instead they've actually performed so well. I mean, even the last game versus Bigatron, they nearly took the chicken dinner.
Yeah, speaking of which, here, I had a chat with Manparang earlier on for Insta story as well. He did mention as well, we're aiming for top 5 and not looking to be the best one here, but having realistic goals is super important.
Respected.
Yeah, respectable, but at the same time, they've been very consistent so far in today's games overall in total. And we have a player feature of all the members from Yudu Gang and Geek as well, 4 kills in total. Wow, They gotta be superstars. You can hear the fans screaming their names.
Yeah, definitely popular here at the Global Finals in Kuala Lumpur, and obviously for Cloud9 as well. They're all in the center of this circle, but there is so much water inside it as well, so it's most likely going to shift northern towards maybe Volnova, or Winery.
Yeah, it might actually happen here, but I'm looking forward to see a shoreline fight. But throughout my professional career in PUBG Mobile, I've only seen 2 games in my life where the circle kind of ended in the water,
Really?
next to the shoreline.
Really, I don't think I've ever seen it. Actually, I've seen it once in Arango where Team IND won in the regional finals, but apart from that, it's probably just that in terms of unique or crazy and strange circle locations. Beowulf, obviously the in-game leader here for Cloud9, trying to scout out some information to see who is near them currently in their vicinity as they are just south of Dino Park. But it's going to be Top Esports just staring them down currently.
Yeah, they have to bail here, and it seems to me based on today's games here, and we saw 4 different teams here, they don't exactly have a lot of vehicles to work with, they have a lot of jet ski, but besides the jet ski, this is not that great for rotation as well as cover, and I'm a little bit worried for all these teams because they need these vehicles later on, but fortunately for them, there's a lot of compound. If you look at the southern section of the map here, Dino Park isn't covered, Tovar as well, Winery, there's just so many mini compounds where all these teams can take cover from any kind of rotations or even long-range gunfights.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of rotations here, Terrence, look how early all of the teams have just clustered in the center. Typically, you see them loot up in their respected areas, in their respected compounds, then they'll do the slow rotations around the edges, they'll try and work out the best ways in, they'll be careful about blockages or roadblocks as teams set up around the edges. Instead, everyone's just gone inside the center.
Yeah, definitely. You know, having the center point of the circle is always great. We saw how time and time again Top Esports were able to clutch those chicken dinners just because the circle favored them. But at the same time, the Kings of Vikendi here, look at this, BTR, they're not prioritizing the center of the circle. They're actually playing the outskirts of Volnova. It seems to me they have a different kind of strategy to tackle Vikendi, especially when the circle is actually favoring towards the southern side.
Yeah, speaking of the southern side, Bigatron, as you said, by Volnova. We have Team Queso who are about to come through Hot Springs and maybe into a hot firefight if Bigatron are making a blockade here towards the river.
Yeah, if BTR actually takes down Team Queso on this roadblock as well, things are going to go south for Team Queso because they might lose even more points, which already was overtaken by Top Esports in the second place here. So if they're not too careful, they're going to get punished. But fortunately for them, seems to me they're going to be taking the southern approach of the bridge there. So they're going to be dodging BTR completely. So safely assured that Team Queso is going to be living to fight another day in the next phase of the circle, potentially.
Yeah, speaking of the next phase of the circle, I mean, it makes such a big impact for so many of these teams because if it goes towards Dino Park, there's a huge lack and discrepancy of compounds that they can use compared to if it does go towards Abbey, Winery, or Volnova. So we can see 2 completely different endings depending on where it does end.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with the Dino Park here. Doesn't have a lot of cover to work with, but there are a lot of places where you can hide yourself in the mazes of Dino Park. And because of that, you won't be seeing a lot of head-on fights. You'll be seeing a lot of potential ninjas trying to sneak their placement points. And that's something that I'm worried as well if the circle actually ends with Dino Park. In this case, EGC already on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Team Queso right now on our screens, we saw them catch out Team Unique inside a little hole as well. So, yes, there could be some places to hide in Dino Park, but obviously, as we saw in the last game, hiding may not be the best situation. Ooh, Hong trying his hardest to get those shots up to Team Queso, but they're going to get away scot-free, and now they're going to be inside the center of the circle, just against the coast.
Yeah, and on top as well, we saw Martin from side Illuminate the Murder taking the first blood against the guys from All Rejection Gaming Wisteria, taking out Matt Yo in the process. So that's going to be the first blood gone, but there are still 63 people alive in this game, 16 teams. We are not going to be seeing a lot of engagements yet, but we can see slowly but surely teams are slowly making their way to the next phase of the circle to contest a couple of compounds, maybe even try and contest some of those kill points here. So as of now, pretty slow approach, very passively done from all these teams. We're not going to be seeing a lot of engagements yet, but from here, Viper, seems to me, he made a couple gunshots, and I'm pretty sure they heard gunshots coming from Top Esports earlier, where Years was testing out his Uzi.
Yeah, just south of Dino Park, as you said. They're right next to as well, EGC, a team that really has to start performing. Ooh. Kurd Squad Ari manages to take down Stalker, doesn't convert into the kill just yet. trying to see exactly where the firefights are going on. It's this big road as well that seems to split off the circle. And this is the thing we always mention, right? If there are open playing fields, no man's land, essentially, inside these circles, when the shifts do happen, it sometimes comes down to luck, really, if you're in the right end of it.
Yep, at the same time, the circle going to be closing in very shortly here. Current squad going to be keeping Orange Esports at bay, where they actually knocked out one of the members from RRQ. D2E, like you said, was kind of knocked off. And it seems to me RRQ may try and salvage this team here, where they're going to try and make their way into better placements. And RRQ has not had a great run today's game, except for the map of Miramar.
Ooh, hope here going to be taking away all the hope, it seems, from EGC in this event, as right now they've been struggling to perform in the first 9 matches. And Eagle just going to be slowing the pace right down. They have years as well on the flank, and almost like the insurance policy here to finish off these two players. They are going to receive the kill points, maybe wary of a chance of a third-party squad to steal away those kill points. Although Trote maybe trying to come in here and save these two remaining players, but they're pretty much just going to be bait here as they do go down. It's down to now Bear as well, but look at this from KK Skur. As he spots out that player, does get behind the rock, he shall be revived.
Yeah, but a good disciplined player as well, coming from years early on. Hope wanted to go for the push and finish off Satan, but unfortunately, he knew there were guys up on top, and because of that, years went for flank. Same goes for KK Skur, and they now open things off, getting another knock here. Immediately, Whoa tried to secure himself the kill points here, but Top Esports, it seems to me, they can finish off the guys from EGC, but I don't think they want to let off this compound that they've already secured.
Yeah, Mega losing a player. Brilliant headshot there from Axel. Yeah, it must have been when he was looking through the little slot there in that small building, but Rod Fierro easily going to be able to revive him.
Yep. And Team Kessel is going to be having their compound as well. When we talked about this, right? There's just so many compounds. It's going to be a lot of gatekeeps here. Top Esports doing the exact same thing. Same for Kessel as well. They do not want to let off this spot here, just because there's just so many exit strategies and compound that they can work with. But so we are going to be expecting a lot of long-range warfare here. This is where the DMRs and the sniper rifles is going to be excelling the most, especially in popping us some hits here.
Oh, we may see a crash onto a compound very, very shortly as we're going to be entering phase 3 into the next one. Lots of teams are banking on the chance that it does end towards Winery. That's going to be Unicorn Gaming, Team Queso, All Rejection Gaming, Bigatron, and Illuminate the Murder, all centered just south of Abbey.
Oh, I'm really worried for Kurt Squad here, because right now Kraken getting knocked off as well. Because of this, they have had a little bit of run-in for time and time again here. They had a small run-in with Orange Esports, now with Udo Gang. I'm worried here. Like, right now, they don't have vehicles. They don't have an exit strategy. They don't exactly have a compound to work with. Right now, they're still inside the circle. They can take their time slow, but it feels like they've overextended the reach here, and Udo Gang may seem to try and punish this.
Let's see them. They are quite exposed, though, on the roofs, but they have spotted out the players from Kurt Squad towards the actual bottom of the standings, and for them as well, as we are halfway into this event, it seems like the hope of actually getting a solid finishing here for the guys from Kurdistan is rather unlikely.
Yeah, definitely, but at the same time, Manparang, he's a little bit too far off from the rest of the members here coming from Udo Gang, but it seems to me, he's the captain here. He wants to finish off the guys from Kurt Squad, hoping they find themselves a compound to work with, where they're trying to gatekeep a couple teams. They're going to be staring at the rest of the teams here, but most of this, look at this. Everyone is just securing the compound right now, but the circle phase, where is the circle going to be ending now?
This is the question, though, Terrence. Where is the circle eventually going to go? Waiting for it to come up on our screens as well, so that we can explain where it's going to be. But right now, for me, though, Terrence, in terms of who my money's on, it's going to be Team Queso. They have such a strong position on the right side of Winery, on the left of Milnar as well. But Baby from Kurt Squad going to be caught off guard here from the players from Udo Gang, because they literally are trying to gank Kurt Squad and take them out into a lower position once again. Clash God from Solo taking out Beowulf in the background of all of this action, but it seems like the action isn't going to settle as of yet. Drax, he realizes how important these kill points are. He's going to try and push forward for them. May spot out as well Hixie as the Molotov goes in. May flush out the peak as well from a few of these players from Kurt Squad.
Yeah, nicely done here coming from Udo Gang. This has been a long rotation coming from Udo Gang to try and finish off the guys from Kurt Squad. They got one knock, but Kraken here will reply, knocking off eye shots here. As you can see, Udo Gang, they're thinking about going for the push to secure kill points here. They've got the damage, but... Oh no! Run, King, no! Oh. Does he pop eye shot? Does he kill him? No,
he killed him. Oh my goodness, that was so close. He will survive, but Drax, see if he can survive, as Baby has him inside his iron sights. Going to be darting around these compounds. Kraken taking out and neither does EGC as they're out in 11.
The game, they're pretty much extinct here in this map. However, game is not over. 10 teams left, 36 of alive. Unicorn Gaming, they're going to be setting up into the outskirts of the windmill. They hear all these gunshots. They're going to be preparing for the layer war to come.
Let's see then, 10 teams remain, 36 players as well. As inside the center of the new circle is going to be unique. You can see it as well on the top right of your peripheral vision. Illuminate the Murder, going to be out in 10. So now we're down to 9. But yeah, back to the point, Terrence, the new circle.
Yeah, the new circle here, the layer wars. This terrain here is all about those layering here, where you see all these hills are coming out from multiple layers here. It's going to provide so much cover for all these teams. This circle itself is going to be able to fit at least 8 teams here if the cards are played right. We may result to see a couple of healing games here, but it all comes down to execution. But as of now...
Speaking of execution, Stone's going to be executed on the spot. RRQ, they've been silent this whole entire game, but now they're starting to make some noise. These are the kind of games where they need strong performances here. As well, more players from Mega being caught out in the open. They maybe made this rotation slightly too late as Online 24 trying to go in towards some safety. Something to maybe hold on to, get behind, but instead you've got Zaxi, considered now one of the best players in the whole entire world. Spots him out, and as well, the explosion from the vehicle, that should be him finish off. It's actually going to be a kill point going in favor of Unicorn Gaming. I don't think Bigatron are going to be too upset about that.
Yep, nice headshot there coming from Zaxi, going for the knock, but at the same time, you can see the layer wars are coming in. C9 getting rushed in from the guys from Orange Esports. Leon on the outskirts getting tagged pretty hard here, but C9 getting pushed and getting shut out. Orange Esports, they take the kill. That is going to be 4 kills for Orange Esports CG.
Yeah, C9 out in 9th as well. So, RRQ, Orange Esports is going to be fairly close proximity. Orange as well need to heal up here, but oh dear, Pons. Yeah, I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Has the micro Uzi. Let's see what he can do. Team Queso, one of the top teams we've seen so far in this event. They weren't expected to, but they've been proving us wrong, as that grenade does go down the steps, but all it's going to do is just buy time for him, as it seems like the inevitable is coming soon. All they have to do is push together as a unit of 4, but they're waiting for the indication to go. Pons still just waiting patiently, hoping that eventually they may leave him alone, but it seems so unlikely.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough spot here from Pons, considering that he's making so much movements here, making sure that Kessel thinks that there's more than 2 players up top. Because of that, the mind games from Pons is forcing Kessel to stay down below. Like you said as well, if Mega Conquer, if he plays his cards right, Kessel might stay down there for quite a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's smart, actually. I didn't even think of that. Thinking on another level, trying to see if he can use the intimidation factor and spread his wings to scare them off. Through the smoke, though, and through the grass as well. These shots here from Marco could do so much damage against the players from Seoul. As Pons, he managed to get outside the compound. How the hell has he ended up in this location? Oh my god, it's like a spotlight. They're trying to work out where the hell he's gone.
Nicely done though, coming from Pons, exiting the strategy here, because Kessel was actually firing on the rest of the teams here. He took that split-second confusion where Kessel was actually focused on towards the guys with Seoul, took advantage of that and get out quickly here, because right now Seoul is coming in. They are going to flush the guys from Kessel now.
Let's see, then they're going to come crashing down onto this compound here against Team Queso, as Kloshkot down early. A few of the players as well going to be taken down from Team Queso. It's going to be an all-out brawl here inside the open. It's just the bridge here. Excuse me, just the wall of cover. What on earth has happened there to Seoul? They tried to make the move, they're trying to catch them off guard, but look at this, Pons coming in, trying to catch them off guard as well for his own, so as he whips out the M4, sprays down 1, tries to get the kill points, and he does. 2 players down as well. If he can get the frag onto Mystic, this is going to be unbelievable here from Pons, making such an impactful play, surviving for so long, catching them off guard as he was smuggled out of the compound. Let's see then, Mystic. Oh my god, I think he may actually do this one here, Terrence, as he has to try and find out exactly where Mystic is, as he does revive one of the players. Pons may just try and take the smart play here and play for the placement points as he gets away scot-free for now.
Yeah, it's a smart play there as well. He took advantage of the situation. He saw Seoul coming in, Seoul coming in, and because of that, he took confusion. He got himself kill points, but because they know Kessel is pretty much knocked right now, 30 seconds before the next phase of circle, he's going to make his way into the circle now, and that's going to give him the slight edge here, or maybe in this case, the jump ahead later on. But as of now, the playing fields are pretty much laid out here. As you can see, Unicorn Gaming smack middle of the next phase of the circle, as they are gatekeeping every single team from pushing into this layer for war.
Stalker going down to G9 from RRQ. Orange Fire, only the last player standing, for Orange Esports as Popov is down. Mega out in 7th. And this might be 2 back-to-back fairly strong performances for Orange Esports, so maybe there's a chance, just maybe, a slither of hope try go forward into tomorrow. But Team Queso coming charging into the open. They're going to be spotting other players as well from RRQ inside the open. But the problem is, the tumble there for Axel. He may be tumbling into the grave now as well. As RRQ going to be finishing on Pov. It's going to be the end very, very shortly here for a few of these teams as we enter into the top 6 teams. As Yasha from Unique coming into the action up against Team Queso. It's going to be an all-out brawl here, as it's so hard to even follow the action. How on earth are we trying to see what's going on? RRQ out in 6th, I believe as well. Team Queso may be trying to heal their wounds as Unicorn Gaming joined into this as well, trying to third party as much as possible.
Yeah, at the same time, RRQ, they had to push themselves in the circle here. Unique had the upper hand. They were zoning their way through. They got so many kills. But now, Unicorn, they're going to be going head-to-head here. They're going to be sending 3 guys from Unicorn Gaming to push these guys from Unique. Will Kitsune be able to get some stuff here? But the nade, oh no! Mistakes. Tax him out a little bit, but it's going to be fine for now.
Oh my goodness, Kitsune going to be flanked here by Hong on the side. The grenade goes in, it could be perfect. And it is indeed. 2 of the players knocked now from Unicorn Gaming. Oh, brilliant there from Kitsune as he's trying to finish off the job. Finish what he started, just searching through the smoke, hoping to knock his shins onto these players and try and finish them off here for the kill points. But look, we're into a new zone here, Terrence, and again, it favors Bigatron.
Yeah, definitely here. Queso is already inside the windmill as well. Unique, they seem to have the upper hand here. They've got so many kills, but they have to wrap things up here because BTR, they're preoccupied with the guys from Queso as well. Ayala and Mystic, they're split off right now as BTR, they have 3 men alive, and they've also formed themselves a small barricade here to protect any kind of rotations or flanks from the sides here. BTR having the best position possible, but will they remain victors because Queso is going to be the one to may potentially have to force themselves to push against BTR because Unique is coming in from behind.
Unicorn Gaming now only to 1 player. Orange Esports to 1 player as well as Mystic from Team Queso is knocked down, eventually converted as well into the full frag there from Kitsune, and that now means Queso as well down to 1 player. It's Bigatron, Unique, both on 3.
Oh my goodness here, but the shots here, Yasha getting scattered from Luxy, he spots it out. That is going to be punishable by the death here because the circle is coming from behind. Unique, they need to rush in. Orange Esports out of the game. BTR, they're thinking of closing another chicken dinner for themselves.
Oh, but Unicorn Gaming going to try and deter that. Zaxi is towards the left here. As soon as Hong stands up, he may actually be traded. Oh, he has such a prime time position here behind through the players from Team Bigatron, but Unique as well, trying the hardest to stay alive. This is probably the best finisher they're going to have so far in this event. They need to finish off strong. But look at this in the open. It's going to be Bigatron Ryzen with 1 with the MAC-10. Takes out 2 now as well, as they're going to be falling like flies. Oh, Unicorn Gaming, they've shown exactly where they are. Out you go. There's only 3 teams now remaining. Unique, Team Queso, Bigatron, who have the advantage as well. Look at Alia as well, just waiting inside that lighthouse as Luxy comes out to finish the job. And that could be it. I believe we're now into a 1 versus 3. Ayla has to try his hardest here. They know exactly where he is as well. Inside the smoke, he's trying his hardest to find out where he can try and find the individual 1 versus 1s. He's got Luxy as well coming to the left. He has his 2 teammates as well, Ryzen and Zaxi, even his twin, to the right.
You know they want the kill. Luxy is going to be thinking of climbing over the walls here, but Ayala will knock 1 here, will give away the kill points here. They know exactly where he is. BTR, they know they want it. They know they want the kill points.
They have to play this one smart. Trade it out. There's 1 more though. Ayla finishes the job as well. It's down to the 1 versus 1. He hasn't done it. It's going to be Luxy taking it out 3 in a row from Bigatron. Holy cow.
Back to back to back. Bigatron Red Aliens has done it. 3 chicken dinners in a row in the global finals. It's never been done before. They proved everyone wrong. They came in stopping. They are here to win it all the way.
All the way it seems, and they were up 30 points, and that lead's gonna cascade up into the open because remember what happened to Top Esports as well, going out and being flushed out immediately. But I believe it was Team Queso when they came knocking on the doors of one of the compounds from Gatka.
I believe on the desk as well, you know, Mustache Dave, he put 20 ringgits, and I believe he's gonna be very happy about it with the 20 ringgit right there. But still, BTR, the kings of Vikendi, they never failed to surprise me. They came in rocking. 3 back-to-backs. I don't know about this game, but there was a crazy match, Alex.
Oh, this play as well from Baby. I actually messed it up during the live match. I said Ari by accident, but you can forgive me. But there you have it, Baby. Just jumping around the MAC-10 and eventually was traded out, but that was one of the highlights of the day. It was so close, though. to being that 1 versus 3 by Ayla at the end, but he couldn't quite manage it. Oh, this was the point I was mentioning. It was actually Mega, excuse me, that just wiped them out immediately.
Right, that was really crazy to watch as well. But Zuxi here responds out online 24 with the headshot as well. As soon as he stood up, got himself a lot more kill points from BTR. But as the game progressed, it was really interesting to see all this rotation and the mind games being played for Southeast Asia teams here. BTR was one of it here. Pons with this clutch was fantastic because he was in a tough spot with Team Queso, and Queso didn't exactly know how many people were on the up top. And because of that, he outplayed them, he punished them as well, and led to Team Queso going late into his rotation, where it went down to Yayala with being the last man standing.
Yeah, this play as well from Pons, when he got an extra 2 kill points for his team and survived for so long to get an extra placement position for his team. Luxy, of course, I mean, a lot of these highlight reels today are going to be all about him.
Yeah, definitely. And Unique was another team we haven't even talking about as well. Let's take a look at what the Des thinks about this final game here in the map of Weekend for today. As a Des, let's take it away, Jason.
Not only do they get themselves a 3rd chicken dinner for today, they put themselves even farther away from any teams catching up to them as 58 points before we had that match kick off, and it's got to be over 60 to 70 by now. And you said, Mustache Dave, talking to him in the break, they weren't happy with 58 points. They want more, and they got it.
I hate to be the guy who's right, but I'm the guy who's right. I said that they were going to get 3 back-to-back wins. They got the chicken dinner. I put all the money I had on the line here, and you know what? Paying dividends.
You just doubled your day rate there. Nice. So anyways, moving out, obviously talking about it. To be fair, at the end, almost pulled off the 1v3.
Yes.
But before we fully dive into that, let's take a look at the scoreboard and see how many points Bigatron did accumulate through that match, because it's very important to see going into day 3. I'm looking at that money. And going into day 3, how big of a lead they can pull off. So we'll pull up the scoreboard and we'll talk about it a little bit more here. Team Queso, they had a pretty good game, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it was who? It was
Ayala, especially
Ayala,
towards the end, just almost, as you mentioned, almost being able to go in and clutch out that 1v2.
Oh, man.
He went for that drop shot a little bit too soon, by the way, Dave. I am going to need that. Some cash back. I only carry 100s or 50s. Shout out to my boy Vegeta. Bigatron right there with the 30 points. Team Queso, I'm liking the performance that they're having on the second half once again, but they need to go ahead and improve on the first half, especially for tomorrow if they want to be in contention for that first place in BTR. Just once again, just proving that they got what it takes. They are just demolishing everybody. Can they continue this? Can they win 4 in a row? I don't know. Let us know in the comments below if you're currently watching at home. What do you think, Jason?
What do you? How much money are you gonna put up if they can do 4 in a row?
Double
See,
or nothing.
Double or nothing?
I'm actually a fan of BTR.
Oh, no. Where's your top esports flag at, all right? Where's that?
I want to see a good performance out of everyone. I want to see a great finale.
Confirmed.
I know where the 7 comes from your name now, because you bounced around team 7 times. You were Cloud9 earlier. Now you're top esports. Now you're Bigatron. And we're gonna be at tomorrow, huh?
Tomorrow, let's see. Let's look at that scoreboard when we show that. When we show that overall, I'll tell you.
All right. So talking about Bigatron, they started this game pretty good. They were fighting all rejection, if you can recall. They got a knock on all rejection and sent it instantly. They did lose one of those members very early on. That's why we saw they only had 3. Since then, they were playing Edge, just making their way on into zone. I gotta say though, at the end, questionable play, Ryzen getting the revive onto Zuxi, but then almost immediately popping out at the end, not waiting for Zuxi to get the heal off, going down. Then Zuxi trying to do the same thing, going down. Luxy wrapping around that windmill, able to get the confirm on that solo member. My point is, they needed to wait a little longer. Things got a little too close for me.
Hey, there's no I'd rather having a 1v1 than Luxy, to be fair. But look at the other teams as we look through 9 through 16 after that last match. Entity Gaming, 16th place with 1 point. Cloud9, 3 points picked up for them. Top Esports, 4 points. Illuminate the Murder, the dark horse for Mustache Dave, unfortunately having a rough game, placing a number 10. But the point is, you got top there, you got Entity there. This lead is continuing to grow, match in and match out for Bigatron, and I'm curious to see where this point standing is going to be.
Bigatron definitely being able to take advantage after every game that just has a bad performance. They're going to go ahead and just try to go for that win. And we mention it over and over again. It doesn't even matter if they have the full squad towards the end. They're just going to be able to destroy it, as we're seeing right there. Bigatron with how many, Jason?
65.
65-point lead over Team Queso. Team Queso at least being consistent there in the second half, but as we mentioned, they need to step it up on first half and second half. Mega Esports currently in third place with 106. Top Esports now with 99. And NTT all the way at the bottom at 6th, even though they started the day at third, and they actually got pretty close to first place there at one point.
I mean, we're obviously talking about Bigatron a lot. We're talking about Case a lot, but let's give a little bit of light to Mega for the fact that this is the team after day one. We were like, what's going on with them? This isn't the team that absolutely slaughtered the prelims, but they're slowly getting there. They're starting to step up now.
I mean, you could tell that the team communication is on point. If you can recall that one push from them, I believe it was on Erangel when they pushed onto C9 when they were in that dip. That was cleanly executed. And then this past game, they were just full-blown aggression, in my opinion. That's why we see them with 46 kills on the leaderboard. That's why they're up there on the leaderboard. And then Ponce, I mean, just able to clutch it out here, getting that 1v3 at the end, almost ruining Team Queso's dream right there. Team Queso able to get the revive because one of their members was in the smoke, so they kind of had a chance to reset. But the point is, there was a fight going on. Team Queso, they were fighting Team Seoul. Mega, they were near it. They decided to push it. Full-blown aggression. I'm loving it from the team.
Yeah, and Mega, once you get up close to that team, you're more than likely going to go ahead and end up losing the engagement. As we were able to see perfectly in Vikendi, we saw Mega take a 1v1 close range, and their strafing was just out of this world. I forgot which team it was, but they just weren't able to go ahead and keep up with the movement from the player from Team Mega. And look at this, the kill leaderboards. Who would it be? The Twins. We got to go ahead and make up some kind of nickname for them because they got 26 kills, 22 kills. And what's crazy is the average survival time. Luxy, almost at 25 minutes all by himself.
I mean, 48 kills combined amongst the two players from Bigatron, the Twins over here. I mean, that's more than, what, half the lobby, I feel like, as a team.
Forget.
No, that is. That is.
Yeah,
I mean,
64. Whew. Yeah. I know your math isn't your strong suit. It's fine. But I think the most important part is, forget the kills between these two players. How consistent Luxy and Zuxy are at getting to late game for their team is phenomenal. Time in and time out, they're always going to be alive. They're always going to be there you have to contend with. And when you get Luxy in the late game stages, when you get him firing off, having a player to support him as well, to give him the information, he just shines.
And at the moment, before this game even started, Bigatron were averaging 19.5 points per game.
Oh, wow.
That is almost a chicken dinner per game just in points alone without even counting kills. So that is great to see. And as we're seeing right there, the player of the match, Ayala, with the 5 kills, 849 damage, and 46.8% of the damage goes to him from his team. He was very close to clutching that finale. As we mentioned, if you maybe wouldn't have drop shot as soon, he would have been able to go ahead and get that win. Overall, great match by Team Queso. I'm glad they're doing great again on the second half. Want to see a little bit more consistent. Come on, muchachos. Vamos.
And they're definitely going to need to here. I mean, Ayala, he definitely had that chance for the 1v3s you mentioned before. I was trying to think of my Spanish, but it's been honestly a long time since high school for me.
Hola.
Yo tengo un gato en mis pantalones. That's about all I remember.
Mustachio Dave, number uno.
Nope, that's more like Italian. All right, so we need to get David Calendar,
math lessons,
books, and
I
tutor for language.
I took Spanish 3 times, by the way, and I did a good job.
Oh, never mind.
You just didn't retain it.
I took algebra 3 times as well.
Okay. Well, the math part makes sense. But anyways, we're done here on the desk. We're going to head down to the stage one more time. I wonder, what can you ask Luxy anymore after today? We're going to find out.
The magic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again with Luxy from Bigatron. Give him a round of applause. What are you doing here again, man? I thought that was the last. Honestly, I was like, okay, maybe he's kidding. But you came back again. This is your 4th chicken dinner, 3 back-to-back. Now, I was with Jay Kaplan right now, and he pointed out something interesting. If you guys don't know this, every chicken dinner gives you guys $5,000. The 4th placing prize pool is $23,000. So by now, out of the 4 chicken dinners, you guys already made $20,000 just by chicken dinner. How do you feel about that, man?
We haven't done yet. We still want to get 1 chicken dinner.
He's still hungry, man. He is still hungry. Now, Luxy, you're also at the top for the kill points alongside your twin brother. That's something I gotta say congratulations to. Now, before we'll leave, I know that your family is here as well, your parents are watching, and everybody back in Indonesia. Is there anything you want to say to them in your own language or English? It's all right.
Terima kasih buat semua supporter Indonesia dan Malaysia dan di seluruh dunia. Terima kasih yang udah datang di sini. Terima kasih semua.
All right, thank you so much, Luxy from Bigatron. Thank you. All right, I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna throw you guys now, and we'll see you guys very, very soon.
What a fantastic game that was for Bigatron, of course, getting those on the trot. Chicken dinners. My name is John Allen, and I'm going to be taking you through the final circles today of that last game on Vikendi. Let's take a look at some of these positions going through. Of course, the team of the hour, Bigatron over here, but they remained relatively stationary up until the closing moments. What we're really going to be looking at here is the movements of the teams outside. You've got teams like Team Queso, obviously, coming in second, who had some difficult choices to make on the rotation. They started out on the north, and as soon as this circle pops here, they have some choices to make. Once they beat out the fight with Team Seoul, do they make their way down? Or down this way, or do they go through the hubbub and the melee over on this side? Now, we do actually know which one they took. And it was actually a couple of things that allowed them to do it, that for them to head down on this western side of the circle, there had to be a little bit of an opening. Once they cleared out on the northern side, you had Team Unique, that they chose to head down and crash onto orange. They also had two choices. They went to orange. They could have gone straight into the circle, but as soon as they start to mount up, they do head and try to take that one out as they make this rotation down here and are able to trigger a lot of fights moving forwards. As they continue to go through, RRQ are taking the fight across the way with Unique, and through it all, Team Queso have managed to send themselves on through and get a decent spot into these final circles. Now, around these windmills, it's very, very difficult, and when you get shifted on as heavily as you do when you're Bigatron, all you need to do is hold it down. They were pretty much able to do so, almost coming into Cropper, one of the Team Queso members, but fantastic stuff for a lot of these teams to allow themselves to get some positions, and once it gets to these final circles, it's all about circle luck, it's all about finding that correct cover, and when you do, well, you're going to come up with a pretty glorious chicken dinner, and we're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we've got our final game of the day.
Broken again.
Bird's been following us. Does it think we're rabbits?
No, you're more like a bug. A really lazy bug. Watch out!
Take cover!
We're surrounded!
Fly fast? I'll race you. Time to wreak havoc. Let's go! You could join us, little sidekick.
Companion. Let's go!
Hey! Wait for me!
Welcome back, everyone, to PUBG Mobile Club Open 2019 Fall Split Global Finals. Jason Kappen, Mustachio Dave, and Seven Rules Gaming there on the end, who unfortunately did lose that bet in the last game. But my question is, coming to our final match of day 2, is it double or nothing?
Yes. I'm picking Bigatron to win the next game.
So if you lose, you give him 100. If you win...
Hey.
Wait, were they good in Air Miguel the past games?
Hey. Shake it.
Yeah.
How about 100? Oh, Bigatron.
For everybody watching at home, it's only like $20.
¿Cómo estás? Mi nombre, David. David, just making sure. Hey, don't look at my notes. Don't look at my notes. So, BTR, 65 points.
You wrote it
ahead
down.
Of Team Queso.
Yeah,
Team Queso, 15 points ahead of Mega, and then Mega, 12 points ahead of Top Esports.
Now, can you say Vamos Queso?
Vámonos, Queso!
I love
When
Oh,
did I
you
add
said
the
vamos,
nose?
queso. He's like, vamonos.
Vamonos, Jason.
Vamos.
El Jason.
My name in Spanish class is actually Jaime.
It's
You
actually
have to
correct.
choose your own name.
Jason, who do you think is gonna win the next game? And are you in on this bet?
Am I? I mean, I don't think I get paid enough.
We can make it a three-way
Be able to
bet.
Wait, so how does that work then?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Listen, how does the
Parlay.
banana split work? Just don't ask the questions.
Well, you
either say
cut
yes
the
or no.
banana,
You either say yes or
split
no.
it, put the ice cream in the
He's
middle.
not in it. He's not in it.
I don't think Bigatron's gonna win this time. I don't think it's gonna happen. 4 in a row, that's a lot to ask for.
It'll be amazing.